Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we are at the start of Chapter 4, basically. On the first day where we actually get new quests, and we start with Where Art Thou, Father, was my idea. With Ellie and Armand. There. Look, Armand, he's fast asleep. He sure is, Ellie. Our little boy is sleeping like the angel he is. Then again, his mother is one too, so I'm hardly surprised. Oh, Armand. Sorry if you're interrupting, but would you happen to be Armand? Huh? Who's asking, if I may? We have a Crossbow Police Special Support Section. We're here to respond to the support request you submitted. Oh, so you're the ones. Thank heavens you're here. This is wonderful, Armand. It's finally happening. You're right, Ellie. I've put so much on your shoulder ever since you gave birth to our baby. It makes me feel just awful not being able to do more for our family. Now, Armand, you told me you wouldn't say things like that anymore. Don't you remember the promise we made the first time we held them together? No matter what happens, we're going to get through this together. You, me, and our precious baby boy. How could I ever forget? Oh, Ellie, how I love you. I love you too, Armand. It's hard to get a word in with these two lovebirds. It's as if they're off in their own little world. I'll say. Apologies for interrupting the two of you again, but do you think you could tell us more about your request? Of course. Sorry about that. We'd like you to search for a certain someone. I know this is a little sudden, but do you think you could commit to our request first before we continue? Fly the coop! No, help the lovebirds. Understood. Just leave it to us. You really mean it? We're saved! Ellie and I have been at a total loss this entire time. Oh, this is lovely news, Armand. I can't tell you how happy I am. Well, look at that, Ellie. I get the feeling Armand just feels the same. You know, I think you're right, dearest. The details, please. Right. Excuse us for that. I'll get right to explaining. Nice work, Theo. A never-ending gehenna of watching them fawn over each other awaited us otherwise. Personally, I wouldn't have minded seeing them continue their amorous little asides. Now then, the person I'd like you to search for is my father. I was separated from him at a very young age. That must mean it's been decades since you last saw each other? Correct. My family and I currently live in Liberal. But as a child, I lived in Crossbelt. However, after my parents were divorced, I went to live with my grandparents on my mother's side in Liberal. I thought for sure I'd never see my father again. But you see, Armand and I recently had our first child, this little bundle of joy. When that happened, Armand said he wanted his father to meet his new grandchild no matter what. That's quite the story. He may have had problems with my mother, but to me, he'll always be my one and only father. I want to show him the happy family we've built together. So we packed our bags and let my mother know we're going to Crossbell. However, let me guess, you don't have any leads on where your old man is these days, yeah? Exactly. I thought he owned an estate in a residential district, but he disappeared without a trace. I asked my mother about it, but she hasn't heard a word from him since the divorce. Hence why we're mounting a search. Armand and I have asked many different people for clues as to his whereabouts. From what we've gathered, he moved to the downtown district after being hospitalized. But every time we go there, he's nowhere to be found. Maybe it's just bad timing, like he was out buying groceries every time you stopped by? That seems like a stretch. Fortunately, our team is familiar with both the residential and downtown districts. Ellie, do you know of anyone who lived in the residential district who matches his description? Not that I'm aware. Could I ask you for your father's name and profession, Armand? Sure. I tried asking my mother, but she didn't know if he was even still working the same job he used to. His name is Gable, and he was a member of a Crossbell Diet. Representative Gable? That guy, huh? You mean you know him? Yes, we ran into him during a request a couple of months ago. In that case, we should start by visiting Lotus Heights downtown to see what we can learn. That's what I was thinking. We might find some clues as to why he hasn't been home. Thank you. I just know it was fate that led you to accept our request. We're counting on you. Find my father for us. Yes, please do. We do everything we can. So, we're looking for Representative Gable. And in our last exploration of a town, Gable seemed to have panicked. Door's locked. Mr. Gable, are you home? I guess he's out. He must be. This is his apartment after all. What's going on over here? Oh, if it isn't VSS. Back again on business, I take it? Morning, Tans. Would you happen to know where our favorite former Diet members run off to? Ah, I haven't seen him in about a week. Why, is he in some kind of trouble? Not exactly, no. Lloyd explained that they were searching for Gable at Armand's request. You're telling me that boy came all the way from Libel to look for him? Well, how about that? Gable's one lucky father. Have you met Armand before? Sure did. He and his wife dropped by my apartment last week, and we had ourselves a chat. Thing is, Gable has already run off by that time. He didn't bother telling me where he was headed, and I didn't think to ask. Damn, face first into a dead end. This isn't going too great. Now hold on just a moment. There might be someone who knows what happened. Who? A man who lives over on West Street. He helped Gable out when he was still a member of a Diet. Even after Gable moved in, he stopped by to check in on him all the time. He lived at Villa something, the name of his apartment. This is merely a wild assumption, but I speculate that name is only partially correct. Yeah, but I think I have an idea where he means if a place is on West Street. We appreciate your help, Mr. Tanz. Don't mention it. You can thank me by helping Armand and his wife get in contact with Gable. God, West Street? That will be Villa Raisin. My husband made a donation towards the city's reconstruction efforts. I used to think he was nothing but a selfish pig, but now I'm starting to view him in a new light. Oh, if it isn't VSS, how can I help you? Sorry to barge in like this, sir. We just wanted to ask, does the name Gable ring any bells for you? Oh, you know the man? Yes, Gable was an old protege of mine back when we were in the Diet. Bingo. Well, you see, the SSX explained that they're trying to reunite Gable with Armand and his family. I see. Well, so they put in a request for you, did they? You're in luck. Gable visited me just the other day, asking for the best place to lay low in Crossbell. What a numbskull. Who does he think he's running away from? His son and the lovely new family he started? I can only assume that this means you know of his whereabouts? But why is the guy in hiding anyhow? Doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Seriously, Armand and Ellie just want him to see their baby boy. Well, far be it for me to speak on his behalf, but never mind. I'd best stay out of this one. But if you want answers, he should be over in Armorica village. You'll find him there somewhere, and you can ask him why he's beaten such a chicken yourselves. Understood, and thank you for your cooperation. Okay team, our former Diet members hiding in Armorica. Let's get going. Ready when you are. Good, let's go to Armorica then. Armorica village. Okay, we made it to Armorica. Now, where could Gable be hiding? Let's check out any place that might be suspicious. Would be wise to speak to the villagers as well. Who could know something? The Elder? Govan? Oh, hello! Will you be staying with us tonight? We do have some rooms available. If Gable came to lay low in Armorica, there's a good possibility of him staying at this inn. Excuse me, we have a question for you. Is there someone named Gable staying here by any chance? Oh, Gable? He stops by to grab a bite to eat every so often. Only to eat? You mean he isn't renting a room at the inn? Nope, he never checked in with us, at least not as far as I remember. I figured he just liked our food enough to keep making trips out from the city. I wouldn't be so sure about something else going on here. Maybe he has a relative in the village he's been staying with? If that were the case, Armand would have known to come here already. For now, we should take a look around. He might have found himself a good hiding spot to hole up in. So, not at the inn, and I doubt he can hide in the houses? So, maybe in this, shed? Door's locked. Lloyd, what's on your mind? I could swear this shed wasn't locked the last time we were here. That sound just now. There's totally someone in there. I concur. Well, isn't this suspicious? Don't tell me. Let's go speak with Chief Tolter. He may know something about all this. Chief Tolter. Welcome back to Armorica, SSS. What can I do for you today? Well, we have a bit of a strange question for you. Would there happen to be someone staying in the shed by your apiary? As a matter of fact, there is. About 3 or 4 days ago, a man suddenly came by and asked if he could lodge there for a while. I believe his name was Gable? You were right. But wait, why the shed of all places? Well, naturally, I offered to arrange a room at the inn for him, but he said he wanted the most inconspicuous place possible. He wouldn't tell me the details of his circumstances, so I assumed he was in a dire situation. Never guessed it would be all of you who were looking for him. Is he an accessory to a crime or something of that nature? No, nothing like that. Lloyd, we should probably explain everything to him from the beginning. That would be for the best, yeah. Lloyd explained how the SS was searching for Gable on Armand and Ellie's behalf. Ah, so he's a former Diet member. And what's more, he faked a stay in the hospital to avoid punishment for tax evasion. Now that you mention it, I think I recall seeing a photo of him the Crossbar times. Not to worry though, this request isn't related to his dubious history with Mira. Would it be alright for us to speak with him directly, Chief Tolter? We aren't sure why yet, but he's been avoiding Armand and Ellie since they started looking for him. I suppose it would be alright. Until recently, I was on bad terms with my son as well. Our problem was that we weren't communicating. I wouldn't wish for anyone to end up in the same situation we were in. Not if I can help it. Thank you, Chief Tolter. Not at all. Follow me, everyone. This is Chief Tolter. Might I have a moment of your time? There's some people here who wish to speak with you. Could you please tell them to leave? I know I'm being unreasonable, but I don't want to see anyone right now. Please settle down. These people who came to see you aren't your son and his wife. Wait, how did you... Mr. Gable, can you hear me? This is the Crossbill Police Special Support Section. The police? What do you want with me? We don't mean to alarm you. We're here about a request we received from Armand and Ellie. What? We have no intention of bringing you out by force, nor do we have the authority to. If you insist upon it, we'll walk away empty-handed and explain the situation to Armand and Ellie. But before that, will you at least hear us out? You unlocked the door. Yeah, let's head inside. Hello, Mr. Gable. It's been a while. You've led us around on quite a chase. Huh. Well, congratulations. You found your man. You said my son and his wife have been looking for me? Save your breath. I won't meet with them no matter what you say. Why are you being so stubborn about this? That much should be obvious. My son Armand despises me, I'm sure of it. You think he despises you? Care to elaborate on that? I was involved in all manner of corruption when I was part of a diet. Status, power, and mirror were my sole motivations. To attain them, I turned my back on my family. My wife wasn't pleased, but she's busied herself with raising Armand to distract from her discontent. I slipped deeper into my licentious ways until one day I did something no married man with a child should ever do. While my wife was out of the house, I invited my mistress in. How could you? Damn, no wonder the two of you split up. It didn't take long for my wife to find out. She left me and took Armand back with her to Liberal. I don't know what they've been through since then, but I'm sure the divorce has caused them both much pain. I, on the other hand, was actually reinvigorated when all was said and done. The day I signed the divorce papers, I invited another woman to come fill the empty space in my estate. That's quite the story. A pretty damn squeezy one, too. Guess you couldn't keep it in your pants. Much in the same way you cannot keep your mouth shut, Wendy. He's not wrong. My son has every right to hate my guts. And to top it off, I swore loyalty to the former speaker of a diet, Hartman. But as soon as my tax evasion came to light, he tossed me aside like I was a nothing. The truth is, I should be behind bars, just like he is. As fate would have it, all I lost was my seat in the diet. After all the despicable things I've done, how could I ever look my son in the eye? Oh, Gable. At least we have a whole story now. May I say something? What is it? What could you possibly have to say after all that? Let me be clear, I don't condone what you put your wife and son through all those years ago. I especially don't approve of all the ways you abused your position in the diet. However, based on everything we've heard so far, there's no denying that you regret your actions. I agree. You've come to terms with your mistakes. Anyone will be able to see that you've paid your dues. As such, there's no reason to use your guilt as an excuse to avoid your family. But that's not all. From the impression I got, Armand doesn't resent you in the slightest. What? We met with him and his wife Ellie when they requested us to help find you. They are a loving family. You could see it in their smiles. Do you know what Armand said to us back when we accepted the request? I want to show him the happy family we built together. Him, his beloved, and your newborn grandchild. Oh. Exactly, Lloyd's telling the truth. We were so sweet on each other, my teeth were starting to hurt. If he really hates you the way you think he does, I sure couldn't see it past all the sappiness. You never know, though. If his poker face is half as good as mine, it could all be an act. Maybe he's waiting until you're alone to take you out. I will take you out right now if you speak another word. Listen, the point, Gable, is that your son grew up to be a pretty stand-up kind of guy. We'd appreciate it if you could take our word on it. How about it, Mr. Gable? Could you find it in you to see your family? Huh. Fine. How could I not after everything you just said? Really? You're sure? I'm done lying. I'll now bring them here before I change my mind. Shoving, I call them over right away. Lloyd hurriedly got in contact with Long Lao. Armand and Ellie were then told to come to Armorica village as soon as possible. The SSS agreed to wait outside the shed so that Gable could mentally prepare himself. My father's in this shed. As hard as it might be to believe, yes, he's in there. We spoke with him and he promised to meet you both. Thank you so much. I can't imagine why he'd be hiding in a place like this, but we're in your debt regardless. Isn't it wonderful, Armand? I'm finally going to meet my father-in-law. We'll have to apologize for not inviting him to our wedding. Oh, my dearest Ellie, how can it be that your soul is so pure? Your heart is as untainted as fresh snow. That, my dear, is why I love you so. Oh, Armand. Get in the shed. Sorry. Sorry about that. You say sorry too, Armin. Whoop, sorry. Good job, Armin. I don't think I can take much more of this. Moving on, Gable's waiting inside for you. Take as long as you need. Thank you, sir. We will. Let's go in, Ellie. Of course, Armand. Is that really you, father? It's been so long. Yes. I suppose it has, Armand. Around 15 years, in fact. And she must be... Pleased to meet you, sir. I'm Armand's wife, Ellie, your new daughter-in-law. I see. Does my heart good to know my son has found a fine young lady like yourself. Oh, that's very sweet of you. And in your arms is that... Yes, that is our son, father. Armin, why don't you say hello to Grandpa? Good boy, Armin. Say, Armand, I know I've given you and your mother more grief than ever could be forgiven. I'm not sure what you mean. But more importantly, look at this, father. Armin's eyes shine like pure sapphires. They're like Ellie's, as clear and beautiful as the midday sky. Yes, but he has your ears, Armand. Every time I see them, I just want to eat him up. Oh, Ellie, for as long as I live, I never let you go. Nor are you, Armand. We'll be together forever. Father, what's wrong? Perhaps he's not feeling well, Armand? No, I'm fine. Truly, I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Because of you, I was able to reunite with my father and introduce him to our new family. He looked so happy about it, too. I'm glad we could help out. Speaking of Mr. Gable, is he staying in the shed? Yes, he said he needed some time to think before he heads home later. We were partway through our conversation when all of a sudden he turned around and refused to look us face to face. I wonder what that was all about. Ah. Could he have been... Guess even corrupt diet members can still shed a tear every now and then. How very edifying. They grow up so fast, don't they? No need to worry, you two. I think what we meant to say is that he'll be alright. So, what do you plan to do now? Well, I've been looking forward to reuniting with my father for so long. More than anything, I want us to find a way to stay in touch. I doubt your mother is going to take it very well. But I'd like for him to come and visit us in Liberl someday. We'll be wishing you the best of luck with that. He doesn't seem to have any plans to return to the diet, so I think he'll agree to it sooner or later. Now, I have another reunion to look forward to. Isn't that right, my dearest Ellie? Of course, my darling Armand. Ever since we first had our child, we have sworn to give him a life full of happy memories, like today. Little Armin met his grandfather. I can hardly wait to give him some brothers and sisters too. You, me, and a house full of wonderful, lovable children. Together, we become the greatest family on the entire continent. Oh, Ellie, I love you so much. And are you, Armand? I could have gone without hearing that last part. So, we're cool here, right? Request complete? Indeed. I don't think we could ever repay you for making all this possible. We will be returning to Liberl soon. Thank you again for all your help. Safe travels. You know, Ellie, we already came all this way. What do you say we go take in the sights? That sounds wonderful, Armand. Oh, Ellie. Oh, Armand. Those two never let up, do they? That they don't. In a way, I'm almost jealous of what they have. Seeing them like that made me want to visit my parents. You too, Ellie? I was just thinking I should probably spend some time with my mom soon. You kids have my thanks as well. I'll look after Gable until he's ready to return to the city. Don't mention it, Chief told her. Thank you for your help. We should get going too. And away we go! Good. And the other quest I wanted to do today starts at Tangram Gate. I think. Hello, Deputy Commander Douglas. Ah, it's you all. Good to see you. I take it you're here in response to my request? Pretty much, yeah, but you're looking a little on edge, Red Doggo. I can't deny it. I'm sure you noticed this the moment you arrived here, but the CGF is currently in a heightened state of alert. We can't afford to have anything short of total vigilance right now. So, would all of that be the reason you put on the request for us then? And he did what? I can give you a full explanation if you're ready to begin. Will you be taking my request now? We're ready to begin. I'm in your debt. As I wrote in the request, we've recently received eyewitness reports of mysterious black monsters. Said monsters have been ravaging the crops and livestock in Armorica village. Monsters attacking Armorica? This feels oddly familiar. Especially that part about the crops. Are we referring to those wolf-like beasts that were menacing the state earlier this year? The culprits in that case wound up being the Mafia and their warhounds. Yes, I drew the same parallels upon reading the report on this incident. LoH has been completely dissolved, but their sizable reserve of warhounds is currently unaccounted for. There's a distinct chance that they're our mystery perpetrators in this case. To what extent has the CGF investigated so far? My guardsmen inspected the damage and interviewed the nearby residents. Consequently, we were able to pinpoint that the monsters are coming from the ancient battlefield. Which is why I want you to head there now. You are to investigate the area for the monsters and, if possible, exterminate them. That's pretty straightforward. Still, you boys must be busy if you're asking for our help with pest control. The CGF should be more than capable of tracking wild monsters themselves if they need to. You aren't wrong, but while this would be a simple task under normal conditions, I must remind you that we're currently on alert. The Red Constellation, the ones who raided Crossbow City, have vanished. At the moment, we have zero leads as to their whereabouts. On top of that, the Empire and the Republic have both started conducting large-scale exercises near our borders. The CGF needs to be especially vigilant given the current tension at the border. In other words, things are eerily reminiscent of how they were just prior to the signing of a non-aggression pact. You are correct. In light of the circumstances, dealing with these monsters is a low priority right now, in spite of the havoc they've caused. As the damages are relatively low, the decision has been made not to spare any guardsmen. I'd say that's fair. You guys got more important stuff to worry about than a few monster exterminations. And that's where we come in. Leave this to us, Deputy Commander. We look into these monsters for you. That would be much appreciated. Best of luck, as it says. I'll be awaiting the good news. Good. When we take our car back to Armorica. Megaduta. 36 of 61. We have a meeting with a Madam Mayor today. Will it take long? A pause. Genevieve wasn't used to explaining herself, so she kept most of her interactions as clipped as her words. It's with Jubilee, isn't it? Now I'm one step closer to mastering the 8-leaf 7-form Void. And indeed, these are LoH warhounds. Ancient battlefield. Look at those monsters. They're LoH's warhounds. Oh, guess what's right on the mirror? Could I have gone feral and formed a pack? Hell if I know, man. I just want to find out why they're so dead set on destroying Armorica's produce. Even monsters should know the risk of getting too close to human settlements. That's just instinct. Orders are orders either way. We're going to have to exterminate them. Then again, that's probably easier said than done. I agree. Huh? Is something on your mind, Theo? It was only a stray thought, but the emotions I detect from these monsters, they resemble fear more than anything else. They're afraid? Sight? How was this timing always so impeccable? For a moment I was scared he might have been an enemy reinforcements getting the jump on us. Woof, woof. These feral mutts likely follow an alpha. Subdue their leader and the rest of the ranks should fall in line. So Sight says. An alpha, huh? Makes sense that a pack would need a top dog. Kinda like me and the SS. Whatever you say. Now, let's see if we can track down their leader. Doofen Kaiser, a mafia warhound wearing iron armor, pursues targets as it is ordered to. One day, it is prophesied that the true treasure chest will lead all chests in the fight against the adventurers. This day will be called Ragnar Box. Come the Aboxalypse. Ow. Right, and Fang cannot miss. At least it couldn't in the last game. Shame! "42 of 61. Give me that," she demanded in a low tone, to which he only responded with an ill-suited snort. In the heat of a moment, she had no time to consider how strange it was. "That isn't yours." Is gate open? Gate is open, okay. Okay, of course we can't use this because the gate is already open. We have no reason to close it. Ow. A quartz fragment. Chest facts. Chests have domed lids to discourage being sat on and repel water from pooling atop it, thereby extending the lifespan of a chest. Interesting. Howling? We're in trouble! Damn, they got us surrounded. That giant one, has it been hanging around the Sunfort this whole time? It must have forced the warhounds into submission. So if we put it down, the rest of the pack will disperse, right? Sounds easy enough. Careful everyone, here they come! Ow. Hellhound, a fierce, intelligent and demonic hound. It mercilessly tears out its enemy's throat. Water? But water is the one thing you don't have. Now the battle doesn't end here. That is what I was curious about. Whoa, bit of an overkill. Oh, was that enough? I believe so. The analytics appear to have lost their will to fight. Well, now that we've got that out of the way, what do we do next? What do you mean, Vazi? The remaining warhounds, do we leave them be or finish them off? Given the circumstances, I think we could easily exterminate them all. You raise a good point. We have no way of knowing whether or not they'll still attack people. I suppose it's better safe than sorry. Come on, guys. Let's get this over. Oh, woof. Grrr. Zeit? There's no need to trouble yourselves, he says. There isn't? Did he say white to you? Woof. Woof, woof. Once the hounds were released, the only thing they thought was to live far away from humankind. However, it was when the Alpha appeared and took control, ordering the pack to butcher cattle and ravish crops, or something along those lines. Ah, so that's the way of it. Now that there's no Alpha to boss them around, well, they're probably not a threat. But hey, you're the leader, Lloyd. What's your call? Well, if what Zeit said is right, let's try to believe him for now. From now on, you must remain in your own territory and keep to yourselves. If you can promise to do that, and never attack our villages again, we will let your pack go in peace. Can you forward that message, Zeit? Woof. Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Woof. Did you get through to them? Yes, I believe Zaid's words resonated with the pack. We should be fine now. Well, isn't that something? I wasn't expecting this job to end with us sweet-talking canines. Also a little bit answerable. How do you plan to explaining this in the report, Lloyd? That's a good question. I think our only choice is to tell the deputy commander the truth and hope for the best. In the meantime, our job is done. Is everyone set to return to Tango Gate? Ready to go. Hello, Risha. What a spectacle. They saved us the trouble of handling the pest control ourselves. We might need to thank them later. Huh. Is something the matter, Risha? Or would you prefer that I still called you Master Yin? Don't tell me you regret entering into another contract with us. I suspect that you might. You needn't be so presumptuous. Let us be going. We should bide our time until opportunity strikes. Master Yin. As you wish. We will, after all, have need of your strength in order to oppose our esteemed adversaries. And may I say, it's a pleasure doing business with you once again. And that's what we learned from our investigation. Those warhounds shouldn't be giving you any more problems. Uh-huh. So, you've been pretty quiet there, Dango. Nothing else you wanna add? Did you make a mistake by not exterminating the warhounds? No, I think you did just fine. Your results simply exceeded my expectations, to an astounding degree even. Did they now? I thought you were going to tell us we are full of crap for saying we persuaded some warhounds. It does sound a little far-fetched when you think about it. So long as it is the truth, I fail to see the problem. As I said, it's perfectly alright. The fact that you managed to solve the issue peaceably is more than I could have asked. Thank you again, SSS. Now the Guardian Force is one less problem to worry about. I'm glad we could help. You can always reach out to us if you need anything, Deputy Commander. I'll keep that in mind. Now, if you excuse me, I'll have to get back to monitoring the state of alert. You six be careful out there. We will. Alright. But I think I end this episode here, and next time we continue with our quests, and probably first returning to the ancient battlefield for treasure chests. Anyway, until next time, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.